Consumption expenditure, the amount of money that people spend out of their disposable income on the purchase of goods and services is called aggregate consumption expenditure or consumption. Propensity to consume, it refers to a schedule that shows the relationship between different levels of income and different levels of consumption, where different shapes/forms of consumption function. First, a linear consumption function which does not start from the point of origin. Second, a linear consumption function which starts from the point of origin. Third, a non-linear consumption function. The characteristics of property propensity to consume. The coefficient of APC and MPC ranges between 0 and 1. Second, APC and MPC have high coefficient in less developed countries compared to developed countries. Third, in short period, APC and MPC tend to decline as income rises. Where higher income implies less MPC reasons. First, a fulfillment of basic needs. Second, a constancy of habits in the short period. Third, a consumption expenditure and the level of income in the past have an important bearing on the current consumption. Fourth, uncertainty of future induces greater saving in the present. Relationship between APC and APS and MPC and MPS. APC plus APS is equal to 1. MPC and MPS is equal plus MPS is equal to 1. Psychological law of consumption: when income increases, consumption also increases, but increase in consumption is less than increase in income. Absolute income theory: there is direct relationship between planned consumption expenditure of the households and their absolute current income. Relative income theory: according to this theory, planned consumption expenditure of a household is determined by the relative income of the household, that is, income is in comparison to the income of neighborhood. Permanent income theory: according to this theory, it is not the current income of the households but their permanent income that determines the level of consumption. Investment: purchasing of different kinds of shares and stocks and investing capital in such activities that are likely to yield income. Financial investment: financial investment are those investments which has no effect on total employment. It only signifies change of ownership. Purchases of shares and stocks of an existing company is a financial investment. A real investment, it refers to that investment which is made in order to set up a new factory or to open a new enterprise. Real investment results in net addition to the total capital. Stock implies an increase in production capacity. Classification of investment: first, induced and autonomous investment. Second, a private and public investment. Third, a gross and net investment. Fourth, a planned and unplanned investment. A gross investment: a total expenditure incurred on capital goods at any given time in an economy. Gross investment is equal to net investment plus replacement investment. A net investment, it is that investment as a result of which there is increase in capital stock. Replacement investment: investment made in order to maintain the existing capital is called replacement investment. Determinants of induced investment: first, a marginal efficiency of capital. Second, high rate of interest. Of a marginal efficiency of capital, it refers to the rate of discount which equates the supply price of a capital asset with its prospective yields. It is also called the rate of return on a newly contemplated investment project. Determinants of marginal efficiency of capital: first, the prospective yields. Second is supply price of the capital asset. अब है estimating MEC in the form of rate of discount. SP is equal to py1 upon 1 plus r plus py2 upon 1 plus r ka square plus py3 upon 1 plus r ka cube plus goes to pyn upon 1 plus r raised to power n. R is the rate of discount which brings py into equality with SP. Here SP supply price of capital goods. py1 py2 goes to pyn first year, second year, then net year professor is equal to marginal efficiency of capital. Investment demand curve: it is a curve showing different amount of investment at different levels of equality between rate of interest and marginal efficiency of capital. Factors affecting MEC: a short-term factor, size of the market, future expectation concerning costs and prices. Third, a propensity to consume. Fourth, the psychology of the entrepreneurs. Fifth, a level of income. Sixth, a taxation policy. Long-term factors: population size, nature of economy, innovations and consumerism, globalization and free trade, sources of autonomous investment, taxation, loans, deficit financing. Actual GDP. It refers to the actual GDP, that is, it refers to the actual level of output in an economy. It shows what an economy actually does or how it performs in terms of the flow of goods and services from year to year. Potential GDP here it refers to the expected level of output when all resources available in an economy are fully utilized at their normal level of utilization. GDP gap it refers to the difference between potential GDP and actual GDP. It may be positive or negative. Positive GDP gap implies potential GDP is more than the actual GDP, so that there is underutilization of resources. Negative GDP implies actual output is more than the potential output, so that there is overutilization of resources. Deadweight loss. When resources are used below their normal rate of utilization, there is obviously an avoidable loss of output. This loss of output is called deadweight loss. Inflationary gap. When actual GDP is greater than the potential GDP, the output gap is called inflationary gap. Recessionary gap. When actual GDP is lower than the potential GDP, the output gap is called recessionary gap. Consumption function. It studies the functional relationship between private final consumption expenditure and its various determinants. Average propensity to consume, it is the ratio between desired consumption expenditure and potential disposable income, that is C is equal to C over YD. Marginal propensity to consume, it is the ratio between change in desired consumption expenditure and change in personal disposable income, that is beta is equal to delta C over delta YD. Saving function studies the functional relationship between desired saving and personal disposable income. Average propensity to save, it refers to a ratio between desired saving and personal disposable income, that is S equal to delta S over delta YD. Margin propensity to save, it refers to the ratio between change in desired saving and change in personal disposable income, and delta YD, that is S dash is equal to delta S over delta YD. Components of desired investment expenditure: business fixed investment, second investment on business inventory, third investment expenditure on residential housing. Our fixed business investment refers to the expenditure on final fixed assets which are repeatedly used in the process of production over several years and which are generally of high value. हाथ तक का भी टच किया Determinants of fixed investment: first, a real rate of interest; second, a business expectations. Our business inventory, it refers to the desired accumulation of stocks. It includes change in stock of finished and unfinished goods and change in stock of raw material. Autonomous investment, it is independent of the level of GDP and level of profit. Induced investment is related to the level of GDP in the economy. Aggregate expenditure for a two-sector economy, it is the sum of private consumption expenditure and investment expenditure. Aggregate expenditure function, it refers to the functional relationship between aggregate expenditure and real GDP of the economy. National income, it refers to the sum total of factor incomes, rent, interest, profit and wages earned by a normal residents of a country as rewards for rendering factor services during the period of an accounting year. Different aspects of national income: first है GDP-MP, दूसरा NDP-MP, third है GDP-FC, fourth है NDP-FC, fifth है GNP-MB, sixth है NNP-MP, seventh है GNP-FC, eighth है NNP-FC. फिर रिलेटेड एग्रीगेट्स: पहले प्राइवेट फैक्टर इनकम, सेकंड है प्राइवेट इनकम, थर्ड है पर्सनल इनकम, फोर्थ है पर्सनल डिस्पोजेबल इनकम. अब सम इम्पॉर्टेंट रिलेशंस: पहले ग्रॉस इनकम माइनस डेप्रिसिएशन इज इक्वल टू नेट इनकम. सेकंड है डोमेस्टिक इनकम प्लस नेट फैक्टर इनकम फ्रॉम रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड इज इक्वल टू नेशनल इनकम. थर्ड है नेशनल इनकम एट मार्केट प्राइस माइनस नेट इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस इज इक्वल टू नेशनल इनकम एट फैक्टर कॉस्ट. Where national income at constant prices is equal to national income at current prices divided by current price index into 100. अब है circular flow of national income. ये है real A. Real flows refer to the flow of goods and services across different sectors of the economy. B है money flows refers to the flow of money in return for the flow of goods and services across different sectors of the economy. अब प्रिंसिपल रिसिप्ट्स एंड पेमेंट्स ऑफ द हाउस होल्ड सेक्टर. पहला रिसिप्ट Factor incomes from the producers transfer payments from the government and rest of the world. B है payments consumption expenditure that flows to the producing sector and direct personal taxes that flow to the government. Principal receipts and payments of the producing sector. A है receipts consumption and expenditure of the household in the government sector, subsidies from the government and receipts for exports. B है payments factor payments to the household sector, taxes to the government, payments for the imports. Principal receipts and payments of the government sector. A है receipts taxes from the producing sector and household sector, payments subsidies to the producing sector and transfers to the household sector. Where principal withdrawals and injections relating to the circular flow of income. Well, withdrawals, saving taxes and imports, injections, investment, government expenditure and exports. Where methods of estimating national income. One है product method or value added method, second है income method, third है expenditure method. अब operating surplus, sum of the property and entrepreneurial income, rent, interest, profit within the domestic territory of the country. Gross domestic product GDP, it is the market value of final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country during an accounting year. It includes depreciation, value addition. It refers to the addition of value when some inputs are converted into an output. Final goods. Final goods are those goods which have crossed the boundary line of production are ready for use by their final users. Intermediate goods. These are those goods which are within the boundary line of production and to which value is yet to be added. These goods are purchased by the firms to be used as raw material or for further sale. Domestic territory. It includes, besides political boundaries, the territorial waters of a country, as well as aeroplanes and ships operated by residents across different parts of the world with a view to generating income. Primary inputs, these are factor inputs with land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. Secondary inputs, these are the inputs other than primary inputs used in the process of production, such as raw material, fuel, etc. Normal residents, these are normal residents of a country are those who normally reside in the country concerned and whose center of interest lies in the country concerned. Market price and basic price. Market price is the price at which goods are finally purchased by the final users. Basic price is the price actually received by the producers. Basic price is equal to market price minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. Macroeconomics. It studies problems or issues of economics at the level of economy as a whole, like of unemployment, price level, trade cycles, etc. Principal basis of principal points of difference between micro and macroeconomics. Microeconomics studies economic issues, problems relating to individual economic units like a household or a firm. Macroeconomic studies economic issues, problems relating to the economy as a whole. Microeconomics focuses on the optimum allocation of resources, while macroeconomics focuses on the level of output and employment in the economy. Third, while price is the basic parameter of the subject matter of microeconomics, it is national income in macroeconomics. Microeconomics relies on partial equilibrium analysis. Macroeconomics relies on quasi-general equilibrium analysis. Areas of macroeconomic study. First, a theory of national income. Second, a theory of employment. Third, a theory of money. Then theory of general price level. Fifth, a theory of economic growth. Sixth, a theory of international trade. Major macroeconomic issues. First, a growth and development. Second, employment. Third, a business cycles. Fourth, inflation. Fifth, a budgetary deficit and fiscal policy. Sixth, interest rates and monetary policy. फिर issues like growth and development, employment and business cycles are treated as macroeconomic targets. Issues like fiscal policy and monetary policy are treated as macroeconomic policies or instruments. Limitations of macroeconomics. First, the fallacy of composition. Several conclusions of macroeconomics are based on the simple composition of individual units. Second, heterogeneous units. The aggregation of diverse and heterogeneous units is often misleading. Third, just a composition or structure of the aggregate is more important than the aggregate itself, while the study of the macroeconomics is often devoid of the fact. Fourth, diverse effects of aggregates on the cross section of population are often not accounted for.